Hello wrestling fans, welcome to another edition of Tag Team. I'm your host, the Invincible E, Vincent. Caesar Scorpio is away on assignment. Tonight's show on the WWE Raw, Monday Night Raw rather, was filmed, or taped rather, in Liverpool, England. Now this started out with John Cena coming out to a mixed reception. Some people were clapping, some people were booing. As has been pretty much part of the course of late for John Cena. But he came out and made it known that he was upset that tonight's show was not actually as anticipated as the show that's going to be coming up next week, which is going to include The Rock. Now, this was actually the first time that they did Raw in Liverpool, and so it should have been a big occasion. But he said, nevertheless, they were going to tear the roof off and give everybody the show that they wanted to see. And as he's giving his rah-rah speech, here come The Miz and R-Truth. And they indicate that even though he single-handedly dismantled them last week, even when they tried to surprise him, nevertheless they're going to be, he's going to need The Rock to help him once they get to Survivor Series, and they're going to be 10 times as tough next time or whatever. I'm not real sure, but at any rate, they jump in the ring, they attack him, they try to manhandle him. At first they're getting over on him, but all of a sudden, here comes the guy who's going to be his tag partner, actually, in the main event match tonight, Zack Ryder. Zack Ryder comes out for the rescue. He gets the Rough Rider lariat on R-Truth. The Miz gets taken out, or actually thrown out, by John Cena. And they walk away, still talking crap, but nevertheless the show continues. After that, we go into the first match, which is Dolph Ziggler versus John Morrison. Now, this was a good match, although it actually started out with John Morrison pretty much getting pushed all over the place. He managed to get a few moves in, but during the first two-thirds of the match, he was basically sort of a punching bag. Now, Dolph Ziggler, while he's basically beating up on John Morrison, he's taunting him about his neck. How's your neck, John? How's your neck? Referring to the injury that John Morrison sustained to his neck. And, if you see him in matches, he's instinctively reaching around to the back of his neck like he's still in some sort of pain. Now, this match went on after a few more exchanges. John Morrison actually started to get the better of Dolph Ziggler. At one point, he did this sick lucha-style DDT on Dolph Ziggler. Ziggler sold it very well. This was a very, very nice-looking move. And as the match continued, Dolph Ziggler did attempt to pin John Morrison. John Morrison actually was able to reverse that, and he was able to get the pin and the win. This it basically breaks a long streak of losses that John Morrison has been getting up to this point. So hopefully this means John Morrison is back in good stead with the WWE, and they're not gonna shoot him out of the door like a cannon, as his contract expires. Hopefully he's gonna be around for a while. Moving on, match number 2 was a pairing, or actually a match against Mason Ryan versus JTG. JTG doesn't show up on Raw or SmackDown very much, so usually when he does, it's kind of a signal that he's going to be staring at the lights. And this proved to be the case tonight. Mason Ryan basically, again, pushed him all over the place and got him into a full Nelson towards the end. And after the full Nelson, yanking him around in a full Nelson, and then just picked him up and slammed him. It was like it was a pretty sick slam. This was pretty substantial. So Mason Ryan got the win, and prepare to see more of Mason Ryan in the future. Actually, even though he was staring at the lights, this is a step up for JTG because he hasn't really been showing up on Raw that much up to now. So could be a turning point for him too. Moving on, they had a video package of people very excited that they were able to secure their tickets to WrestleMania. WrestleMania is going to be great, etc., etc. We all know this, of course, and the match pretty much, or the show rather, pretty much continued after that. Match number 3 was Alberto Del Rio versus Kofi Kingston. This was actually pretty one-sided as well. Alberto Del Rio was fighting angry because he was upset about CM Punk putting him in the Anaconda Vice and essentially forcing him to say that he'll give him a match at Survivor Series. And so yeah, Kofi Kingston got a few moves in, but Alberto Del Rio at the end got him in an armbar and made him basically tap out. Now after he taps out, they ring the bell. Alberto Del Rio jumps on Kofi Kingston and puts him in the armbar again. And at this point, CM Punk comes out and he says that they go to commercial break. After they come back from commercial break, Alberto says that John Laurinaitis says that he can back out of the Survivor Series match due to the fact that he was coerced into getting in it. So if Alberto Del Rio asks CM Punk to back out, then if CM Punk says, okay, I'll back out, then he'll leave and not be in the match. Hey, it's worth a try, I guess, but did you really think CM Punk was going to say, okay, fine, I'll leave? Of course not. CM Punk says, no, he's going to go ahead and have the match, and there's pretty much nothing he can do about it. Now, at that point, and by the way, during that exchange, Punk reminded Alberto Del Rio that he attacked CM Punk at WrestleMania after he had already been jackknife powerbombed by Kevin Nash. So it's kind of like, you don't like to be attacked. I don't like to be attacked. So guess what? Fair is fair. That's kind of how we do things now, right? So this pretty much goes on. Alberto Del Rio goes to try to put CM Punk in an armbar, and CM Punk actually reverses it and gives him gets ready to. Actually, he gets the Anaconda Vice on Alberto Del Rio again. Ricardo jumps in and basically tries to stop CM Punk. He, for his trouble, gets GTS'd, and Alberto Del Rio runs away. So that's how that match ended. Match number 4 was Jack Swagger versus Santino. Again, pretty one-sided. I'm going to sneeze. Okay, it went away. Pretty one-sided. Jack Swagger was basically pushing Santino all over the place. Ended it with an ankle lock, and Santino had to tap. The winner was Jack Swagger. Jack Swagger's like the new improved crazy Jack Swagger with the twitching eye. So we'll see what happens with that. Moving on, Kelly comes out to introduce her Maxim magazine cover. She's going to be on the cover of Maxim magazine. She comes out, thanks the WWE Universe for all their support through all the years since she's been there, and just getting ready to unveil the cover of the magazine, when all of a sudden here comes Natalya and Beth Phoenix. They start to taunt her, tell her she's gonna cry, and tells her that her and her boyfriend Ken hang out or whatever. It's just giving her a hard time. It looks like they're getting ready to attack. All of a sudden, here come Eve and Alicia Fox. So yeah, she's got a whole lot of backup at this point. And again, just like what happened on Halloween, Natalya and Beth Phoenix back out. And after that, Eve and Alicia Fox unveil the cover of Maxim magazine, which has Kelly sitting on the hood of a red Camaro. Buddy Nas. Moving on, John Laurinaitis comes out and introduces his new rehire, which is Kevin Nash. Kevin Nash says that he first saw Triple H a long time ago, shadowing Killer Kowalski, wearing slacks and a suit, or a sport coat. He thought that he didn't think much of him, but Shawn Michaels said, "Hey, the kid's got something. He's funny. He looks like he can do something." Nash said that he finally let him into his clique. He said that once he got the big pop at Royal Rumble when he showed up, biggest pop of the night, he called Triple H, said, "Let's do something. We should do something." Never got a call back, and he knows that he still got it, and so he's booked himself the match. What's he referred to as a main event match. After he beat up Triple H with his own trademark hammer, he said that he's basically back and he's here to do damage. Now, he said that's how you play the game. Ooh. Play on words there. After that, John Laurinaitis and David Otunga are talking about Brodus Clay's return. How it's supposed to be, Brodus was actually supposed to be back this week, but it's going to be postponed until they get back to the States because the folks in England are sophisticated enough to handle it, or some junk like that. This is when CM Punk confronts John Laurinaitis and says, "Hey, what a great idea having Alberto come up to me and say, ask me to, go ahead and say that I won't be in the match. That's winning strategy. What did you expect me to say?" And David Otunga chimes in and says that he doesn't think the championship should belong to somebody who looks like they work at a gas station. And to which CM Punk replied, "Would you like regular or unleaded?" And proceeds to start beating up on David Otunga, which is actually the first action you've seen David Otunga in a few weeks, since he put on the Havid sweater and bow tie. But as he's beating on Otunga, Alberto Del Rio actually picks him up, throws him on the crafts table, and he ends up in a bowl of popcorn or whatever. He beats on him until the refs come and take Alberto Del Rio away, and the show moves on after that. This goes into match 5, which was The Miz and R-Truth versus John Cena and Zack Ryder. This was a good match. At one point, R-Truth did take a nasty spill. He got thrown out of the ring, and he landed, but the way that he landed was on his legs and back, and it immediately whipped his head back into the ground. And to his credit, that's, by the way, I'm sure they're going to check him for a concussion for that. If it hasn't happened already. This was taped. But yeah, that is a concussion-inducing type of move. I don't know if he has one yet. I'm going to do some digging around and see. But nevertheless, he got back up and continued the match all the way to the end. So for that, you got to give R-Truth credit. Now, after this, the match ended actually when John Cena and Zack Ryder did a double "You Can't See Me," followed by the 5-knuckle shuffle on The Miz and R-Truth. Cena sets up The Miz for an attitude adjustment. The Miz actually escapes throwing elbows and boots John Cena in the head. He goes for the pin, and R-Truth holds John Cena's feet down so he can't kick out. And the winners of this match were R-Truth and The Miz. So this was the way the show ended, basically showing that John Cena is not invincible. They sort of had to fix that since of the last show. What you gonna do? But nevertheless, this is a good lead into what they're gonna do next week with The Rock. Excuse me, with The Rock, and going towards Survivor Series. That's all we have tonight for this edition of Tag Team. For myself, the Invincible E Vincent, and the absent Caesar Scorpio. Take care.